Stop everything. Take a deep breath and listen closely, for I have cleared this path specifically for you. Do not let your fingers slide across the screen, and do not look away. This is not a random video suggested by an algorithm. This is a divine interception. I have commanded my angels to stand guard over this moment, blocking every distraction, so that you could arrive at this very intersection of time and eternity. You are watching this alone for a reason. This message is not for the crowds, nor is it for the casual seeker. It is a private summons from the throne of grace, intended for your eyes only. I am the creator of the stars and the weaver of your soul, and I am speaking directly to you, the one who feels invisible, the one who carries a weight that no one else can see. You have been crying out for a sign, and I am here to tell you, I have heard you. Before I unveil the shocking truth that will change your life, I ask you to acknowledge this holy moment. This is not just a video. It is your divine appointment. Do not let this word pass like the wind. If you can feel my spirit stirring within your heart, if you know deep in your soul that this message was meant specifically for you, I invite you to declare your presence. Type 7007 or I am here, Lord, in the comments right now to signal that your spirit is awake and ready to receive. As you do this, I invite you to join this family of the chosen. Press the like button to seal this agreement with heaven and subscribe to this sanctuary so we may walk this path together. Your action here on earth activates a response in the spiritual realm. I see the shadows that have been following you. I see the one mistake that keeps you awake at night, the decision you regret most, the moment you wish you could erase from history. You think that because of that stumble, you have disqualified yourself from the greatness I promised. But here is the shocking truth the enemy doesn't want you to know. That very mistake was not a detour from my plan. It was a tactical necessity. What you call a failure, I call a foundation. You think it was your end, but I am about to show you why it was actually the beginning of a glory you cannot yet conceive. Stay with me for the revelation I am about to share. Regarding your darkest regret will shatter your chains and transform your destiny forever. I was there. While you were replaying that moment, that specific night, that one decision, that crushing day, I was watching it with you. But I did not see what you saw. You saw a dead end. I saw a doorway. You saw a stain. I saw a seal of my grace. I was in that room when the silence became heavy enough to crush your spirit. I watched you sit at the edge of your bed, head buried in your hands, as the cold realization pierced your chest. Something had broken that you couldn't fix. I saw the light dim in your eyes, and I felt the weight of that regret settle into your soul like lead. You have spent so much energy hiding this from the world, wearing a mask of strength while your heart was shivering in the dark. You thought I had turned my face away in disappointment. You thought my holiness could not look upon your failure. But this is the secret the heavens want you to hear. Now I was closer to you in that darkness than I have ever been. While you were whispering, "How could I let this happen?" I was catching every tear that fell onto your pillow. While you were shaking your head in shame, I was holding your hand, even when you felt too unworthy to reach for mine. I did not allow that moment to happen to destroy you. I allowed it because I knew that in the wreckage of your own strength, that you would finally be able to carry mine. Your mistake was not a surprise to me. It was an invitation. Prepare yourself, for I am about to show you why that failure was the very thing that qualified you for the miracle that is coming next. My child, there is a specific piercing kind of agony in believing that you have finally crossed the line, that you have broken the plan for your life beyond any hope of repair. You look at the pieces of your broken dreams, the fractured relationships, or the empty bank account, and you conclude that I must have moved on to someone more faithful, someone who didn't stumble as badly as you did. I have seen you sitting in the quiet corners of your life, comparing your messy reality to the highlight reels of others, feeling like a ghost in your own story. You think you have reached a point of no return, where my grace can no longer reach you because your mistake was too public, too foolish, or too deep. But hear me clearly, your capacity to break things is nowhere near my capacity to redeem them. You see a dead end. I see a construction site. You see a permanent stain. I see the beginning of a new masterpiece. I have never once been surprised by your failures. Before you were born, I saw this exact moment and I still chose you. I still called you mine. You feel that because you failed, you have lost your seat at my table. You walk with your head down, hoping I won't notice you wearing unworthiness like a second skin. You assume that because you didn't follow the perfect path, you are now sentenced to second best. But listen, I am not the God of Plan B. I do not downgrade my calling over your life because you had a moment of weakness. What you call a detour, I can turn into deliverance. What you call a setback, I can turn into alignment. I am the master potter. When the clay mars in my hand, I don't throw it away. I press it back down and reshape it stronger, wiser, more resilient. Your mistake did not cancel your destiny. It adjusted the route. And sometimes that adjustment is mercy, because the path you were insisting on would have broken you. I know what you can carry. I know what you cannot. I know what you asked for, and I know what it would cost you if it arrived before you were ready. So stop for a moment. Close your eyes and breathe slowly. Can you feel my presence in the room with you? I am closer than you think. I am reaching for the tears no one sees, the ones that don't fall down your cheeks, but flow inward, drowning your spirit in silent shame. I am touching the places where you feel most ruined, and I am speaking cleansing over them. You need to learn this difference. Conviction draws you toward me. Condemnation drives you away from me. One is my light. The other is the enemy's fog. If you still have the ache to come back, if you still want me even while you feel unworthy, that is proof you are not abandoned. That desire is not weakness. It is the evidence of my spirit still calling you home. You are not your mistakes. You are not your past. You are who I say you are, and I say you are forgiven, restored, and not disqualified. The weight that has been crushing your chest is not your identity. It is a lie you have been carrying. Let it fall. I am removing the garment of mourning and replacing it with the oil of joy. Your ruins are becoming foundation stones. I do not waste pain, I transform it. And understand this, I do not give big assignments to small people. The fact that the battle has been fierce and the fall has felt devastating is not proof that you are finished. It is proof that you are marked. The enemy does not spend warfare on people with no future. He targets those who are becoming dangerous in the spirit. You are not falling apart. You are falling into place. Just as a seed must break open to grow, something in you had to crack so the new life I planted could rise. Stay with me. In the next revelation, I will show you how even the loneliness of your scars is part of my design, and how what you thought disqualified you will become the very place I anoint you. I see the hollow ache in your chest, the kind of loneliness that remains even when you are in a room full of people. I have watched you stand in the middle of a crowd, laughing at jokes you didn't find funny, and nodding along to conversations that didn't matter, all while your soul was screaming for someone to truly see you. I saw the friends who enjoyed your table when it was full, but vanished the moment the drought began. I saw the people you carried on your back, the ones you nurtured and defended, turn their heels and walk away, when you were the one who needed a shoulder to lean on. The sting of betrayal, is a cold, sharp blade, and I felt it with you every time it pierced your heart. Every time you were misunderstood, every time your intentions were twisted, and every time you were left out because you were too much or not enough, I was there standing in the gap of your isolation. You have felt like an outcast, a person marked by mistakes that everyone else seems to remember, while you are trying so hard to forget. But I am here to tell you that your solitude was not a punishment. It was a sanctuary I built around you to keep the wrong voices out while I spoke to your heart. You are so tired of the mask, aren't you? The exhaustion of pretending to be blessed and fine has drained your very spirit. You feel that if people knew the depth of the scars you carry, the scars of your failures, your losses, and your broken promises, they would turn away in judgment. So you hide. You bury your true self under layers of performance and politeness. But in the silence of the night, you are left with the reality of your own wounds. I want you to know that I love the version of you that is behind the mask. I love the person who is trembling, the one who is unsure, the one who feels like a fraud. You don't have to perform for me. I am the God who looks at the heart, and in your heart I see a beauty that your scars have only enhanced. Those scars are not deformities, my child. They are the credentials of a survivor. They are the proof that the enemy tried to take you out, but he failed. They are the evidence that you have been through the fire and didn't consume. Your scars are the language of your future ministry. For how can you heal the brokenhearted if you have never been broken yourself? I have seen the way you betray yourself too. I have watched you agree with the lies of the accuser, calling yourself names that I never gave you. I saw you looking in the mirror and wishing you were someone else, someone who hadn't messed up, someone who was perfect. But perfect people cannot carry the weight of the glory I am preparing for you. I choose the weak to confound the strong. I saw the nights you stayed up wondering why you had to be the one to endure such heavy trials, why your path had to be so much harder than those around you. It is because I have entrusted you with a unique assignment. Your solitude is the womb of your greatness. The loneliness you feel is the space I am clearing out so that I can fill it with my peace, my wisdom, and my power. You are not behind in life. You are being refined. You are not lost. You are being aligned with a destiny that is far beyond the small dreams you once had. Stop trying to hide the parts of you that are hurting. Bring them to me in the secret place. I am not repelled by your pain. I am drawn to it. I have always preferred the broken vessel, for it is through the cracks that my light shines the brightest. You feel lonely because you are being set apart for a purpose that the world cannot yet understand. I have pulled you away from the noise and the shallow connections so that you could learn to hear the frequency of my voice. This season of being misunderstood is your training ground for a level of influence that requires a heart made of steel and a spirit made of grace. You are not being rejected by man. You are being protected by God. I am shielding you from the influence of those who would distract you from the glory that is about to be revealed. I am asking you to lay down the burden of trying to be understood by people who were never meant to walk your path. Some people can only love the version of you that makes them comfortable. But I love the version of you that challenges the darkness. You are tired of being the strong one, the one everyone else leans on, while you have no one to catch you. But I am catching you now. I am the rock that does not move, the anchor that does not fail. Let the tears flow if they must. They are the holy water that washes away the dust of the world from your eyes. You are not alone in your scars. I carry them too. My hands, my feet, and my side still bear the marks of my love for you. We are scarred together, and together we will turn those marks of pain into a banner of victory that will inspire thousands. This hidden season is almost over, and when you emerge, you will not be the same person who entered the darkness. You will be a light that cannot be hidden. Your isolation was the divine shielding you needed, while I strengthened your inner life. Now take a deep breath and feel the warmth of my presence surrounding you like a cloak. The world may have walked out, but I have walked in, and I am never leaving. Your value is not determined by who stayed, but by who created you. And I say, you are priceless. My child, you have often wondered why the wind seems to blow hardest against your face, why every step forward feels like a struggle against an invisible tide. I want to pull back the veil and show you the truth that there is an enemy who is terrified of the light I have placed within you. You are not just a person walking through life. You are a bearer of my glory, and darkness cannot tolerate what you carry. This is why you have felt such intense resistance. The enemy does not waste his arrows on those who are no threat to his kingdom. He has targeted you because he saw the seeds of purpose I planted in you before you were even born. He knows that if you ever fully realize who you are in me, you will become dangerous to everything that feeds on fear. So he has tried to drown your spirit in discouragement, to trip you with temptation, and to blind you with the fog of confusion. Those moments when you felt like you were under a heavy cloud were not products of your imagination. They were the tremors of a kingdom that senses your awakening is near. I saw how he whispered to you in your moments of weakness, steering you toward that choice you now regret. He didn't just want you to make a mistake, he wanted to use that mistake to steal your identity. He wanted to tie a millstone of guilt around your neck and sink you into despair, hoping you would never rise again. But what the enemy intended for your destruction, I have already repurposed for your development. He thought he was burying you, but he didn't realize you were a seed. Every attack, every betrayal, and even the moments where you buckled under the pressure have only driven your roots deeper. The darkness tried to extinguish your flame, but I have used the pressure of the battle to turn a flicker into a fire. You are being refined in a furnace the enemy helped heat, never understanding that he was only exposing what I placed in you. And yes, you have felt it, the envy of others, the strange coldness from people you thought were on your side. This too is part of the unseen war. People often react to the light they see in you without even knowing why. The enemy uses the insecurities in others to try to dim your shine. Do not be confused by sudden exits or unprovoked attacks. Many times it is not about your personality. It is about my presence on your life. You carry a frequency of heaven that disrupts what is comfortable in darkness. They are jealous of a peace they cannot buy and a resilience they cannot explain. I have allowed these frictions so you would stop begging for validation from man and start finding your sufficiency in me alone. And here is your step of agreement. If you are done shrinking, write this in the comments. I will not dim my light. Not to perform for anyone, but to mark the moment you stop partnering with the lie. Let your words become a line in the sand. Let it be the sound of you returning to who I called you to be. It is time for you to stop playing small, acting like a casualty of circumstances. You are a warrior of the Most High. The enemy has tried to make you forget your authority, keeping you focused on your scars instead of your sword. But the mistakes of the past are under my blood, and the enemy no longer has the right to use them as evidence against you. I have cleared your name. I have vindicated your soul. Every lie spoken over you, every trap set for your feet, every curse sent in secret is being dismantled, because I am not only restoring you, I am reestablishing you. You are not a victim of war. You are being trained for victory. The pressure you feel is not proof you are failing, it is the weight of what I am placing on you. Stand tall, my beloved, and watch as I turn resistance into testimony and envy into proof that you carry something real. You have asked me 1,000 times in the quiet of your despair, Lord, if you are all-powerful, why didn't you stop me? Why did you let me walk right into that trap? Why didn't you close the door before I could step through it? I have heard every one of those questions, and I want you to listen closely to the answer. I gave you a gift that is both beautiful and heavy, the gift of free will. I did not create you to be a puppet on a string or a machine that follows a program. I created you in my image with the capacity to choose to love and to create. If I were to step in and override your every decision, your love for me would not be real, and your character would never have the chance to grow. I value your freedom so much that I am willing to let you make mistakes, even painful ones, because I know that I am big enough to redeem every single one of them. I saw the moment your heart began to lean toward the wrong direction, and while my heart ached for the struggle you were about to face, I also saw the version of you that would emerge from the wreckage, a version that is stronger, wiser, and more compassionate than the one who never stumbled. I could have stopped the hand that signed that paper. I could have silenced the words before they left your lips. And I could have blocked the path that led to your regret. But had I done so, you would still be leaning on your own understanding, trapped in a pride that would eventually destroy you. Sometimes I allow you to reach the end of yourself so that you can finally find the beginning of me. I allowed the mistake to happen, not because I wanted to see you suffer, but because there were lessons in that valley that the mountain peak could never teach you. You needed to see the frailty of human strength so that you could learn to rely on my eternal power. You needed to experience the bitterness of a wrong choice to truly appreciate the sweetness of my grace. Do not view that moment as a failure of my protection. View it as a part of my profound education. I was not absent when you fell. I was already at the bottom, waiting to catch you and begin the process of rebuilding you from the ground up. Think of your life as a vessel. If that vessel is filled with self-reliance ego and the illusion of perfection, there is no room for the oil of my spirit. Sometimes I allow the vessel to be cracked or even shattered by life's circumstances and your own choices. Why? Because a broken vessel can be remade into something far more valuable. In the culture of the world, when something is broken, it is discarded. But in the kingdom of heaven, brokenness is the requirement for a breakthrough. I allowed that mistake to become a crack in your armor so that my light could finally penetrate the parts of your soul you had kept hidden from me. You thought you were losing everything, but you were actually losing the things that were keeping you from your true purpose. Every tear of regret you've shed has been washing away the scales from your eyes, allowing you to see me not as a distant judge, but as a loving Father who specializes in making all things new. This is the mystery of my providence. I am so sovereign that I can take your worst day and weave it into my best plan. I am not limited by your past. I am not hindered by your poor timing. While you are staring at the plan A you think you ruined, I am already unveiling plan A plus, a path that takes your failures into account and uses them as stepping stones to a higher level of glory. You see a scar. I see a story of redemption. You see a debt. I see a lesson in my provision. You see a broken relationship. I see a heart being prepared for a divine appointment. Stop apologizing for being human and start marveling at how I use human weakness to display my divine strength. Your mistake didn't stop the clock on your destiny. It simply wound the spring for a more powerful release. Trust that I knew what I was doing when I stayed silent, and trust that I know what I'm doing now as I speak. My child, I want you to listen to this as if no one else can hear it, because this is not for a crowd. This is for you. You have looked at the world. and wondered why others seem to walk through life with ease, while your path feels like an uphill climb through thorns. You watch people repeat the same mistakes you made, yet they appear to escape the consequences that crush your chest at night. And in the quiet, when your defenses fall, you have asked me the question you don't say out loud: why me? Why did I have to be the one who broke? Why did I have to be the one who regrets? Here is the truth: you have been too afraid to believe you were not singled out for punishment. You were singled out for purpose. Being chosen is not a medal. It is a refining. It is not comfort first. It is calling first. I do not entrust weight to someone who has never been strengthened, and I do not place a crown on a neck that has never learned to stand. You felt the pressure because your life is not small. The enemy can sense what is in you long before you do. He attacks what threatens him. He targets what will carry light. And when he saw the seed of what I planted inside you, he began a war to keep you asleep. But I need you to understand something about the mistake you regret. Most, the enemy wanted it to become your identity. He wanted it to be your name. He wanted it to be the headline you read over yourself every day. That is why the regret has been so loud. Not because I am disgusted with you, because the accuser is trying to chain you to one moment and keep you from becoming what that moment was never allowed to cancel. You have said, if I were truly chosen, I wouldn't have fallen like that. And I tell you, the fall did not prove you are unchosen. It exposed what you were still carrying. It revealed the places where you were still trying to survive with counterfeit strength, approval, control, distraction, performance. Sometimes I allow what is hidden to surface, not to shame you, but to heal you. Not to crush you, but to cleanse you. I will not build your future on denial. I will build it on truth, because truth is the only foundation that can hold glory. The quality of gold is revealed in fire. I am the great refiner, and I do not put worthless things in the hottest place. If your life has felt like heat after heat, it is because I am burning away the dross of an old identity. The one you learned from rejection, from abandonment, from fear, so the real you can finally breathe. The you I called. The you I knew. The you buried under regret. And listen, this is the part you must stop resisting. Regret can become a prison, but it can also become a door. The enemy uses it to keep you bowed. I use it to make you honest. Regret can either whisper, "You are finished," or it can confess, "I need you." And the moment your regret turns into surrender, it loses its power to define you. Because I do not heal you by pretending it never happened. I heal you by meeting you inside what happened and rewriting what it means. You are being trained in a specialized classroom, not because you are less loved, but because you are trusted with more. A shallow life cannot sustain a deep blessing. If I released everything you asked for while your soul was still leaking through shame, it would have crushed you. So I allowed the season to stretch. I allowed the silence to teach you how to listen. I allowed the pressure to teach you how to stand. Not to break you so you wouldn't break later when the blessing finally arrives with its weight and its responsibility. So when you ask, why me, hear my answer, because I saw something in you that you did not yet see. I saw that even in your brokenness, you would come back. I saw that your heart would not settle for darkness, even when it tasted it. I saw that you would become the kind of person who can sit beside someone else's shame and not flinch because you have been rescued from your own. That is not weakness, my child. That is authority forged in truth. Stay with me. In the next revelation, I will show you the shocking mercy hidden inside what you thought was rejection, and why a closed door was not the end of your story, but the beginning of mine. My child, I watched you stand before closed doors, with your eyes burning from tears, your hands exhausted from knocking, your heart collapsing under one sentence: no. You mourned a lost opportunity, a relationship that died, a dream that withered right when you thought it was about to bloom. And the most painful part was not the door, it was what you concluded about me because of the door. You felt rejected, abandoned, punished. You wondered if your mistake became the reason I stopped showing up. Now listen alone for your eyes, only because this truth will shock you if you're willing to receive it. I was the one who locked some of those doors. Not because I enjoyed your pain, not because I wanted to teach you a cruel lesson, but because I saw what you could not see. I heard conversations you were never meant to hear. I saw motives hidden behind smiles. I saw traps disguised as answers. I knew where that perfect path would have taken you once the excitement wore off, how it would have shrunk you, drained you, and slowly suffocated the purpose I placed inside you. What you perceived as rejection was often my shielding. What you called delay was often my protection arriving early. You have been mourning Plan A, the path you believed was your only chance at peace. You assumed that because you stumbled, you are now sentenced to a second-best life. But hear me, I am not the God of leftovers. I do not salvage you like a broken object and call it mercy. I rebuild you with intention, and then I call it destiny. Plan A was built on what you could see. Plan A Plus is built on what I know. Plan A was good. Plan A Plus is deeper. It is a path where your scars become discernment, where your failure becomes wisdom, where your regret becomes a guardrail instead of a grave. Plan A Plus is not better luck. It is better alignment. It is a life that can hold what you asked for without losing yourself in it. And yes, your great mistake was a catalyst. Not because I authored your pain, but because I can redeem it. The enemy meant it to derail you. I used it to expose what needed healing, to cut off what was poisoning you, and to shift you into a lane where you stop chasing what looks right and start walking in what is right. Sometimes the most merciful thing I do is disappoint the version of you that was about to settle. Stop looking back at the smoking ruins of what used to be. Every backward glance turns memory into worship, and you were not created to worship what I closed. I am doing a new thing, and it will not fit inside the rooms you begged to enter. That is why they had to shut. Some doors close because the room is too small for the person you are becoming. Trust the dismantling. I cannot build a stable future on an unstable structure. I have to tear down what you built out of fear, people-pleasing, rushing, proving, grasping, so I can build what is anchored: peace, discernment, patience, strength. This is why the waiting has felt heavy. Not because I forgot you, because I was reinforcing you. The waiting room is not a prison. It is a construction site. While you thought nothing was happening, I was deepening your roots so you could survive heights without getting dizzy. I was strengthening your shoulders so the blessing would not crush you. I was training your spirit so you could recognize the next door, not by how shiny it looks, but by how much peace accompanies it. And when the right door opens, you will not have to beg for it. You will not have to manipulate it. You will not have to bleed for it. It will open with the quiet authority of my favor, because it will be mine. And what I open will not be sustained by your striving. It will be sustained by my hand. So rest, my child. Not in passivity and trust. The closed door was not proof that you are disqualified. It was proof that I am involved. And my Plan A Plus over your life is not smaller because you regret something. It is wiser. It is stronger. It is cleaner. It is closer to the person you were always meant to be. My beloved, I want you to listen to this the way you would read a sealed letter, slowly, privately, and with your guard down. In the next 7 days, pay close attention to the world around you, because the spiritual atmosphere over your life has already begun to shift. You have felt the stillness that comes before change, but this is not a storm of destruction. It is a rain of restoration. I am moving pieces you thought were lost forever. I am touching threads you assumed were cut. And you will begin to notice coincidences that are not luck at all, but my fingerprints on your ordinary day. You may hear a song that carries a specific memory, one that used to stab you, and suddenly it doesn't wound the same way. Or a name will rise in your mind for no clear reason, and then that person crosses your path or reaches out, or is mentioned twice in the same day. These are not random. I am training your senses again. I am reminding you that I am not distant, not passive, not watching from afar. I am present. I am active. I am rewriting what you thought was final. I see you checking your messages with a heavy heart, hoping for news that never seems to come. I know the quiet disappointment when the screen stays empty. But hear me, restoration often arrives without fanfare. A door that has been stuck for months will begin to loosen, not always by a dramatic miracle, but by a small shift that proves the lock is not permanent. It may be a brief email, a simple text, a subtle invitation, a "can we talk?" that doesn't look like a breakthrough until you realize what it interrupts. I am working behind the scenes to soften hearts that were hardened to open eyes, that were blind to your value, and to correct narratives that were built on misunderstanding. And I need you to remember this. You have been in a season of silence, but silence in my kingdom is never absence. It is the sound of deep preparation. When you do not hear me the way you want, I am often strengthening you in ways you cannot measure. I am teaching you how to be steady, not just emotional, rooted, not just relieved. Some of the greatest shifts happen when nothing outside looks different, because I am first restoring the inside. In these 7 days, the most important signs will not be flashy. The most important sign will be this: the grip of regret begins to loosen. The mistake you regret most has tried to sit on your chest like a weight, whispering that you are disqualified. But restoration starts when that whisper loses volume. You will feel moments of unexpected peace sometimes, in the middle of chores, sometimes at work, sometimes while you're doing nothing special, and you won't be able to explain why your heart suddenly feels lighter. That is not your imagination. That is my presence reminding you the heavy lifting has never been yours. You may notice certain patterns, repeating numbers, symbols, small reminders. Do not worship the sign, but do not ignore it either. Let it be what it is, a gentle nudge that you are not alone, that I am attentive, that your life is not drifting. And if the mind has been foggy, if you've been cycling the same thoughts, replaying the same scene, arguing with your past, watch what happens as the days pass. The confusion lifts. Not because you finally figured it out, but because I am restoring clarity. When the soul is healed, the mind becomes quieter. And when the mind is quieter, direction becomes clearer. This restoration is not only about external circumstances. It is about the internal resurrection of hope. I am breathing life back into dreams you buried because you thought they died when the mistake happened. You will feel a creative idea return. A forgotten passion will tap you on the shoulder. A desire to build again cleanly this time. Honestly, this time will rise in you without force. That is me calling you back to yourself. Not the version of you who performed to feel safe, but the version of you who is anchored whole and unafraid to begin again. And here is the shocking truth. Most people never learn. I do not restore you to the person you were before the mistake. I restore you into someone stronger than you were before it. Not hardened wiser, not numb clear, not proud steady, The enemy wanted that moment to turn you into someone who hides. I am using it to form someone who cannot be controlled by shame. So as you step into this week, do not strive. Do not force doors open. Do not chase signs like a desperate person trying to prove I am real. Remain attentive. Remain grateful. Remain quiet enough to notice what you normally miss. Your only job is to stay near me, because when you stay near me, you will recognize the difference between noise and instruction. I am the one who makes a way where there is no way. I am the one who turns deserts into gardens. Every tear you've shed has been counted, and every prayer you whispered has been heard. The wait is not wasted. The silence is not rejection. And what is coming will not simply change your circumstances, it will change your story about yourself. Walk gently this week. Watch closely. And when you feel that first small shift, guard it. Not with fear, but with faith. Because restoration does not always arrive like thunder. Sometimes it arrives like a door that finally quietly begins to open. I have seen you staring at the numbers that do not add up, my child. I have felt the cold weight in your stomach as you look at the bills piling high, wondering how the harvest you worked so hard for seems to have vanished into thin air. You feel as though the locusts of life misfortune, bad timing, and those very mistakes we discussed have devoured the best years of your productivity. You have felt the shame of not having enough and the exhaustion of living in a constant state of survival. But I am the God of the overflow. I am not just the God of barely enough. I am the God of more than enough. I saw every sacrifice you made every time you gave when you had nothing to give, and every tear you shed over your financial lack. I want you to know that I am about to settle the accounts of your life. The years that were stolen by the enemy, the resources that were drained by your trials, and the opportunities that were snatched away, I am reclaiming them all on your behalf. I am the great provider, and my storehouses in heaven are never empty. You have been focused on the how, but I want you to focus on the who. I am shifting you from the economy of this world into the economy of my kingdom. There is a restoration coming that will make the losses of the past look like a small deposit into a massive inheritance. I am preparing to restore to you the years the locusts have eaten. This is not just about a temporary fix or a one-time windfall. This is about a divine realignment of your wealth. I am opening the windows of heaven to pour out a blessing so great that you will not have room enough to receive it. You will find that resources start seeking you out. Contracts, favors, and creative ideas will begin to flow toward you because you have passed the test of faithfulness in the lean season. You have shown me that even in the desert, you kept your heart focused on me. And now, I'm going to show the world how I take care of my own. Understand this, my precious one. The abundance I am bringing into your life is not merely for your comfort, but for your calling. I am trusting you with much because you have been faithful with little. I am making you a conduit, a channel through which my goodness will flow to a hurting world. This wealth is for the management of my glory. As I increase your resources, I am also increasing your wisdom and your capacity to lead. You will not be the same person who was once afraid of the mailbox or the ringing phone. You will walk with a new confidence, knowing that your Father owns the cattle on 1,000 hills and that your needs are forever met. If you believe that I am breaking the curse of lack right now, do not stay silent. Join this family of believers who are moving from scarcity to abundance. Reach out and press the like button and subscribe to this channel as a sign that you are ready to manage the wealth of the kingdom. By doing this, you are telling the heavens that you are a steward, not just a consumer. I am setting a table for you in the presence of your enemies, those who mocked your struggle. and those who thought you would never recover. They will watch in amazement as the one they counted out becomes the one they look to for help. Your financial recovery will be so sudden and so complete that it will be a testimony to all who know you. Type "I receive my restoration" or 888 in the comments right now to seal this prophetic promise of provision. Let the sound of your faith echo into the spiritual realm, triggering the release of what has been held back. The barriers are falling, the chains of debt are breaking, and the gates of prosperity are swinging wide. You are no longer a slave to the lender. You are a child of the King, and your inheritance is being released. Trust me, for I am doing exactly what I promised in my perfect way and my perfect timing. My child, listen to this in private. Not because it is secretive, but because it is tender. Some truths cannot be heard in a noisy room. I have seen the empty chairs at your table and the silence on your phone where there used to be laughter. I have watched you stare at the screen as if it could explain what happened, how warmth became distance, how closeness became cold, how people who once said, "I'm here," vanished when you needed them most. You have replayed conversations like evidence in a courtroom, cross-examining yourself until your spirit was exhausted. Did I say too much? Did I not say enough? Should I have been calmer, stronger, easier to love? But hear me clearly. Your value was never determined by their presence, and your worth is not diminished by their departure. People can leave your life and still not leave a mark on your identity, because your identity was never theirs to assign. I was there in the rejection. I was there when you smiled in public and crumbled in private. I was there when you carried others on your shoulders and then discovered they would not carry you for even 1 mile. I heard the words you swallowed. I counted the tears you hid. And I want you to know something that will change how you remember it. I did not abandon you in that loneliness. I was guarding you inside it. Some separations were not punishment. They were protection. Not because you are better than others, but because the future I am building in you requires clean air. I saw subtle manipulation you excused because you wanted peace. I saw loyalty that demanded you stay small. I saw friendship that only worked when you were convenient, cheerful, silent, and useful. I heard what was said when you weren't in the room, not to shame you, but to show you the truth. Certain voices were anchoring you to an old version of yourself. You thought you were losing people. Many times I was rescuing you. And I know it hurts because you loved sincerely. Your love was real. Your intentions were not fake. That is why it wounded you so deeply, because betrayal is not just an action. It is a message it tries to implant. You are not safe. You are not chosen. You are not enough. But I am uprooting that message. I am teaching you a holy difference. Love is not proved by how much pain you tolerate. Loyalty is not proved by how long you stay in places that drain you. Forgiveness is not the same as returning to what harmed you. I am not only healing your heart, I am restoring your discernment. Now look at what I am doing. I am pruning your garden not to make it empty, but to make room for fruit that can actually mature. There are connections that looked alive, but were slowly poisoning your joy. There were relationships that kept you in a constant state of self-doubt, always performing, always apologizing, always explaining your own humanity. I am removing counterfeit closeness so genuine belonging can appear. And yes, there will be resurrection. For relationships that still belong in my plan, I am working in ways you cannot force. I am softening pride that refused to admit wrong. I am clearing misunderstandings that grew into walls. I am teaching hearts to speak truth without venom. But hear me, reconciliation that is truly mine will not return with noise. It will return with humility. It will return with ownership. it will return without games. And I am also sending new people divine appointments, quietly arranged. People who will not punish you for having scars. People who will not demand you stay stuck so they can feel superior. People who will not be threatened by your healing. They will see your growth and celebrate it, not compete with it. You will recognize them by the way your body relaxes. Your nervous system will not brace. Your spirit will not shrink. Peace will confirm what words cannot. Now let me tell you the truth that connects this directly to the mistake you regret most. Listen carefully. That moment did not only expose your weakness, it exposed your environment. It revealed who loved you when you were easy and who disappeared when you became honest. That revelation was not meant to humiliate you. It was meant to free you. Because if you cannot be real, you cannot be loved deeply. You can only be managed. So rest, my child. I am the architect of your connections. I know exactly who must be near you to strengthen your calling, and who must be far so they cannot sabotage your healing. I am replacing isolation with alignment, rejection with a rightful welcome, and shallow bonds with steady love. You are coming home to me first, and then to the people who will reflect my love back to you without requiring you to disappear. My beloved child, I have seen how your body has carried the burden of what your soul could not release. Regret does not stay in the mind. It settles into the nervous system. It hides in the shoulders that never drop the jaw, that stays clenched, the stomach that tightens for no reason, the heart that races at night as if danger is near when the room is quiet. I watched you wake up tired, as if you fought battles in your sleep, because you did. You have been surviving in ways you never had words for. I am not indifferent to your physical life. You are not only spirit, you are whole, and I care for every part of you. I am reaching into the microscopic places, into breath, nerves, blood, and thought, and I am speaking peace where your system learned fear. I am teaching your body that it does not have to live on high alert. I am undoing the alarm that has been ringing inside you since the mistake, since the fallout, since the shame. Some of what you called weakness was simply your body begging for safety. Some of what you called laziness was exhaustion from carrying too much alone. The fog that has clouded your mind is lifting. The mental exhaustion that made simple decisions feel impossible is breaking. Shame has sat in your thoughts like a shadow, dimming creativity, smothering clarity, making you doubt your own instincts. But I am restoring a sound mind, not a frantic mind that must control everything, but a steady mind that can trust me. I am removing thorns of worry that have been pricking at your peace. I am teaching you how to think without spiraling, how to remember without bleeding, how to plan without panic. And listen to me. This is for your eyes only. Your healing will not always feel dramatic. Sometimes it will feel quiet. It will look like sleeping deeper, like breathing slower, like your shoulders dropping without you noticing, like waking up and realizing the first thought in your mind is not accusation, like hearing the memory of your mistake and feeling less terror. That is healing. That is restoration. That is my mercy rebuilding you from the inside out. You have tried to hide your scars, physical scars, emotional scars, invisible scars, because you assume scars mean you are damaged. But in my eyes, scars are credentials. They are proof you were wounded and you survived. They are evidence the enemy struck and did not win. I am not asking you to pretend nothing happened. I am teaching you to see it correctly. Your scars are not a brand of shame. They are a testimony of endurance. and I am anointing them with meaning. Because what happened to you will not end in pain alone. It will become wisdom. It will become compassion. It will become a light for others who think they are beyond repair. Not because you will preach at them, but because you will understand them. You will be able to sit beside someone else's brokenness without judgment because I met you inside yours. So breathe slowly, my child. Let your body learn safety again. Let your mind learn quiet again. Let your spirit learn trust again. I am restoring order. I am restoring rhythm. I am restoring wholeness. Healing is not only a miracle in a moment, it is also a steady rebuilding, a returning to peace, a reclaiming of your own life. And I am doing it, even now. My beloved, I did not bring you through the fire just so you could smell like smoke. I brought you through so you could become fireproof and then become a guide for others still trapped in flames. You thought the mistake you regret most disqualified you. But the shocking truth is this: it became a turning point. Not because it was good, but because I am Redeemer. I can take what was meant to break you and use it to form you. For a long time you asked, why me? Now I ask you something different. Will you go with me, not as a flawless person, as a whole person, as someone who knows the darkness of regret and the kindness of restoration? Because the world is full of people who feel trapped in their own minds, and they do not need a perfect voice, they need a true one. I have been strengthening you in hidden places where applause could not reach you, where you could not perform your way into peace. I was refining your voice so it would not be borrowed language, but live truth. That is why you will speak differently now. Your words will not float, they will land. They will carry weight because they are not theory, they are testimony. Your mission will not be to impress people, it will be to free them. You have gained something through pain that comfort does not teach discernment. Compassion, authority without arrogance. You know what it feels like to lose yourself. You know what it feels like to rebuild. You know what it feels like to be found. And that knowledge is not meant to stay locked inside you as a private survival story. It is meant to become a lantern in your hand. I am placing responsibility on you not to carry everyone, but to carry light. Influence is not fame. Influence is impact. It is the ability to shift an atmosphere when you enter a room. It is the ability to speak one sentence that breaks a chain. It is the ability to stand steady so someone else believes they can stand too. And I am preparing that in you. There will be doors of influence that open quietly, one by one. Not because you chased them, but because your life will begin to testify louder than your fear. People will notice a difference, a steadiness that cannot be faked, a peace that cannot be bought, a courage that does not come from ego. They will not be drawn to your perfection. They will be drawn to your honesty and the God who healed it. Do not be afraid of the magnitude of what I am calling you into. I am not asking you to do it in your own strength. The wisdom you gained in lean seasons, the resilience built through battles, the compassion developed in lonely nights, these are tools. And I will supply what you lack as you walk. I will connect you with the right people at the right time. I will teach you what you need when you need it. I will not rush you into exposure before your roots can hold it. And here is the final truth you must carry: your past is not a chain. It is a bridge. The enemy wanted it to become a grave. I am turning it into a pathway, so others can cross from shame to hope, from regret to restoration, from fear to faith. So stand, my child, not as someone almost ruined, but as someone redeemed. not as someone who hides, but as someone who has been healed enough to be seen. Not as someone who shrinks to stay safe, but as someone who rises because love is stronger than fear. And I will be with you, steady, close, unshakable, while you step into what you once believed you forfeited. Listen closely. My beloved, this is not for a crowd. This is for you alone in the quiet place where your thoughts usually accuse you. These are not motivational phrases. These are words I am etching into the foundations of your future. So when emotion rises and falls, you will still stand on what is sealed. I declare that the season of your mourning has reached its final hour. Not because you finally did enough, but because I have decided your sorrow will not be your permanent language. I decree that the chains of your past are not merely loosened, they are dissolved by the fire of my love. The memory may still exist, but its authority is broken. The mistake may still be part of your history, but it will not be the ruler of your identity. Shame will no longer sit on your shoulders like a crown you never asked for. I am lifting your chin. I am restoring your gaze. I am giving you back the dignity you thought you forfeited. Hear me, where the world saw a mistake, I see a miracle in the making. Where the enemy saw a target, I saw a treasure. Where you saw evidence against yourself, I saw the raw material for redemption. I am speaking vindication over your name, not the kind that needs applause or revenge, but the kind that quiets your own heart. The loudest courtroom has never been outside of you. It has been inside. And I am silencing the accuser at the root. You are not on trial anymore. I am the wall of fire around your household, and I am the shield over your mind when fear tries to rehearse tomorrow's disasters. I am the guard at the door of your heart when self-doubt tries to re-enter, wearing the costume of wisdom. I am the one who separates you from what is assigned to drain you. I am the one who protects what you cannot yet protect for yourself. The enemy will not have access the way he once did, because I am teaching you discernment, and I am enforcing boundaries you were too tired to enforce. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning of your hope and the end of your sorrows. I speak into the void and say, let there be light, and darkness must flee. I do not negotiate with shadows. I do not bargain with condemnation. When I command peace, peace is not a suggestion, it is order returning. And I am not only restoring what was taken, I am adding what you never possessed before the trial began, a steadiness that cannot be bought, a humility that cannot be faked, a wisdom that cannot be taught in comfort. I am forming a kind of strength that does not need to shout to be real. I am giving you a clean heart, again, not naive, but healed. Not closed, but guarded with holy clarity. I appoint for you a garment of praise instead of a spirit of heaviness, not as denial, but as authority praise that rises even while the story is still unfolding. I appoint for you the oil of joy instead of mourning, not joy, built on perfect circumstances, but joy anchored in my nearness. I appoint for you rest that reaches deeper than sleep, the rest of knowing you are not carrying your life alone. I appoint for you clarity where there was confusion and courage where there was hesitation. I appoint for you strength that returns in layers until one day you realize you are no longer surviving, you are living. I am your provider. And hear this carefully, provision is not only money. Provision is the right person at the right time. It is favor that cannot be explained. It is a closed door that saves you. It is an opportunity that finds you without you begging. It is the right instruction when you are about to choose wrongly again. It is the grace to rebuild slowly without hating yourself for the pace. I will provide what you need for what I have asked of you, step by step, season by season, without humiliation. I am your protector. That means some things will not return, not because you failed, but because I refused. Some cycles will end. Some voices will go quiet. Some temptations will lose flavor. Some patterns will break like old chains because they no longer fit the person you are becoming. I am closing what would consume you. I am interrupting what would repeat. I am rewriting what would have destroyed you. I am your peace. Not a temporary feeling, but a permanent home. When you feel weak, I am your power. When you feel lost, I am your way. When you feel exposed, I am your covering. When you feel ashamed, I am your cleansing. When you feel like you must prove yourself, I am your identity. You do not have to earn what I already decided to give. And now, my beloved, I want these affirmations to land where you truly live, not only in your mind, but in your bones. You are mine. No power in heaven or on earth can pluck you from my hand. I have written your name on the palms of my hands with the ink of eternity. I am not a God who watches you struggle from a distance. I am the breath in your lungs and the strength in your spine. My presence is not a visit. It is your permanent dwelling. The battle is not yours to finish by force. The victory is not yours to manufacture. I have already overcome the world on your behalf. What remains is not panic, it is posture. Not striving, but trust. Not obsession, but obedience. Not running in circles, but walking forward with me. I am the potter and you are the clay. And I am not crafting you into a vessel of performance. I am crafting you into a vessel of honor, one that can carry love without fear, truth without cruelty, and influence without pride. I am going before you to make the crooked places straight. I am standing behind you as your rear guard so your past cannot ambush your future. What tried to define you will not catch you again. This is my covenant with you. It is unbreakable. And what I have spoken over you will not return empty. It is accomplishing its purpose even now, quietly, deeply, relentlessly, until your life matches the freedom I have declared. Now, my precious child, we have reached the moment of the Great Seal. You have listened to my voice, and your spirit has vibrated in harmony with the truths I have revealed. This message was not merely for your ears. It was an operation performed on your heart. The weight you carried when you first began this video has been replaced by the lightness of my grace. The great mistake that once defined you has been dissolved into the ocean of my mercy. And in its place, I have planted the seeds of a future so bright, it will make your past seem like a fading dream. But do not think this is the end of our conversation. It is only the conclusion of this specific summons. You are stepping out of this moment as a different person than the one who entered it. The spiritual shift has already occurred within you, and now it is time to manifest that shift in your physical world. You are carrying the frequency of heaven back into your home, your workplace, and your relationships. I am asking you to perform a final act of faith to lock this prophecy into your life forever. Do not let the enemy steal the seed of this word as soon as you turn away. Seal this divine restoration right now so that it remains fruit-bearing in your soul. I want you to go to the comments and type, "I believe in God's plan A+," or simply, "It is done." By doing this, you are pressing my seal upon your own destiny, declaring to all of creation that you have accepted the upgrade and the redemption I have provided. This is your amen, your so be it. And as you do this, I invite you to finalize your place in this family of the chosen ones. Press the like button one last time to signal your total agreement and ensure you are subscribed to this sanctuary. so that you do not miss the next step of the revelation. This is how we build the community of the light, one heart, one agreement, and one act of faith at a time. But before I let you go, I must leave you with a mystery. There is a deeper secret regarding your lineage, and the true reason why you were chosen for this specific path of suffering and glory. I have not yet spoken to you about the ancient promises made to your ancestors that are manifesting through your hands today. There is a greater revelation about the doors that are about to open, doors that go beyond just your personal needs and into the realm of shifting entire generations. You are not just a survivor. You are a portal through which my light is entering a specific part of this world. When you are ready, I will reveal the rest. For now, walk in the peace of the forgiven, the strength of the restored, and the joy of the beloved. The miracle is already in motion. I am with you, I am for you, and I am already standing in your tomorrow, waiting to welcome you into your Plan A+.